Texas has been battling wild hogs for decades. These animals destroy crops, tear up fields, and damage irrigation systems in a single night, causing major losses for farmers. Measures such as trapping, fencing, and hunting have been implemented, yet the wild hog population has continued to grow. Surprisingly, the turning point in this battle came not from technology or weapons, but from an accidental discovery in nature. During a survey in the Texas Hill Country, researchers noticed something unusual. In several areas that once had very high wild hog densities, the number of piglets had dropped significantly. At first, many believed this was the result of trapping campaigns. However, the collected data did not support that theory. Something else was quietly influencing the wild hog population. The answer gradually emerged through cameras placed in the forests. Across multiple locations, researchers repeatedly recorded coyotes hunting wild hogs, especially piglets. At first, these incidents were considered rare, but growing evidence showed that the behavior was far more common than expected. This discovery changed perceptions of a predator long viewed as a nuisance and suggested that coyotes could play an important role in naturally controlling wild hog populations. To verify what the cameras recorded, researchers analyzed coyote DNA samples and stomach contents across several states. The results revealed traces of piglets far more frequently than expected. This confirmed that coyotes were not simply scavenging carcasses, but were actively hunting young hogs. The finding quickly attracted the attention of wildlife agencies because it revealed an important missing link that had been overlooked for years. When data from multiple years were combined, a clear pattern emerged. Areas with stable coyote populations consistently showed much lower piglet survival rates. In contrast, regions where coyotes were heavily hunted experienced faster wild hog population growth. This created an unexpected paradox. Farmers often viewed coyotes as enemies, yet this predator was helping control one of the most destructive animal species in the United States. However, relying on nature alone was not enough. Wildlife managers understood that coyotes could slow wild hog population growth, but could not completely solve the problem. As a result, Texas began combining the role of this predator with modern technology. Smart traps were installed on many farms and designed to activate only when nearly the entire sounder had entered, increasing efficiency and reducing the chance that hogs would learn to avoid them. Interestingly, these traps are not activated immediately. Before any capture takes place, operators often spend several days allowing the hogs to become comfortable visiting the bait site while the gate remains open. Over time, the animals begin to view the area as a safe food source and return in increasingly larger groups. Once their caution disappears, a single remote activation can capture dozens of hogs at once. Today, this method is considered one of the most effective wild hog control strategies available. The real change came when counties and farms began working together instead of acting independently. One area would set traps, while another monitored activity with cameras or applied additional control measures. When pressure was applied simultaneously across large regions, wild hogs could no longer easily move elsewhere to continue breeding. Thanks to this strategy, many communities reported major declines in wild hog numbers within just a few years. In the end, the most important lesson is not found in modern traps or expensive control programs. What stands out is that nature had been quietly providing part of the solution long before people recognized it. Coyotes are neither heroes nor villains. They are simply fulfilling their role as predators within the ecosystem. The story of Texas shows that sometimes the most effective solution is not to fight nature, but to understand it and work with the systems that already exist.
In less than a week, a large sounder of wild hogs tore through dozens of acres of farmland, leaving the fields almost unrecognizable. Rows of soybeans and corn that were nearly ready for harvest were rooted up, fences were knocked out of place, and irrigation systems were heavily damaged night after night. As the destruction continued to escalate, the landowner decided it was time for a large-scale control operation. Instead of chasing or trapping individual hogs, the goal was to capture the entire sounder in a single attempt. Leaving behind even a few animals would allow them to learn how to avoid the trap, making future control efforts far more difficult. Over the past several years, wild hogs have become one of the biggest challenges facing many Texas farms. They live in wooded areas and thick brush, then use the cover of darkness to move into crop fields. In just one night of feeding, they can devastate an entire section of farmland. Their population continues to grow rapidly thanks to their high reproductive rate and remarkable ability to adapt to different environments. Wild hogs will eat almost anything, including grains, vegetables, fruit, and small animals. Large adult boars are powerful enough to tear through metal fencing and root up compacted soil in a matter of minutes, making traditional deterrents largely ineffective. After several weeks of collecting footage from infrared trail cameras, the control team identified the route the sounder consistently followed each night. The path ran between a nearby water source and the fields that had suffered the worst damage. A circular trap measuring nearly 10 meters in diameter was then installed. Heavy-duty steel panels were joined together to form a secure enclosure, reinforced with steel posts driven deep into the ground to withstand the force of panicked hogs trying to escape. The only entrance was equipped with a remotely operated gate connected directly to the camera system. Rather than closing the trap as soon as a few hogs entered, the operator patiently waited until the entire sounder had moved well inside. That patience proved to be the key to the operation's success. Over the following days, fermented corn was spread throughout the trap to make the area feel safe and inviting. At first, only a few hogs entered to feed before quickly leaving. But after several nights without encountering any danger, more and more animals began visiting the trap. Cameras recorded the entire sounder moving freely in and out without showing any signs of caution. Finally, the long-awaited moment arrived. On the live monitor, one hog after another walked through the entrance and gathered around the bait. The operator waited a few more minutes to make absolutely certain no animals were left outside. The instant the last hog entered, the remote gate was activated. The heavy steel gate dropped into place, sealing off the only exit. Realizing something was wrong, the entire sounder erupted into panic, charging in every direction and desperately searching for a way out. However, the reinforced steel enclosure held firm. After several minutes of struggling without breaking through the trap, the exhausted hogs were completely contained inside the enclosure. At daybreak, the control team arrived to inspect the results. More than 30 wild hogs had been captured in a single operation. The combined weight of the animals totaled several thousand pounds, making it one of the most successful captures ever recorded in the area. The operation significantly reduced pressure on nearby farmland and helped prevent further crop damage in the weeks ahead. The captured hogs were then removed from the property under established wildlife management procedures to keep them from returning and causing more destruction. Capturing nearly the entire sounder at once also greatly reduced the chances of the remaining animals reproducing and forming a new group. Even so, with their rapid breeding rate and incredible adaptability, wild hogs will continue to be a major challenge for farmers. That is why large-scale trapping systems combined with remote camera monitoring are becoming one of the most effective tools for protecting crops from the growing threat of wild hog populations.
Cut a few. Let's go, pigs. Come on. Come on, pigs. Let's go, pigs. Trailer. Come on. Go get in the trailer. Come on. Oh, golly.
Right there, boy. Good eating.
Just a few nights were enough for a sounder wild hogs to turn a large cornfield into a patchwork of churned up soil. Countless rows of crops were ripped out by the roots, irrigation systems were left badly damaged, and steel fences around the farm were punched full of holes by massive boars. As the destruction continued to grow, the landowner realized there was only one option left: launch a large-scale trapping operation. Instead of removing individual animals one by one, the goal was to capture the entire sounder in a single attempt. Only by eliminating nearly all the hogs in the area could the risk of future crop damage be significantly reduced. For years, wild hogs have been one of the most destructive pests facing farms across Texas. They spend the day hidden in thick brush and wooded areas before traveling miles every night in search of food. With powerful snouts built for rooting, they can destroy an entire field within just a few hours. Beyond wiping out crops, they also tear up irrigation lines, grazing pastures, and other vital farm infrastructure. Their high reproductive rate and remarkable ability to adapt to different environments allow their population to keep expanding, making traditional methods of scaring them away increasingly ineffective. After weeks of monitoring infrared trail cameras, the control team identified the route the sounder used every night between the woods and the cornfield. Fresh tracks and newly rooted soil confirmed this was the ideal trapping location. A circular trap measuring nearly 10 meters in diameter was quickly assembled. Heavy-duty steel panels were secured with deeply anchored steel posts strong enough to withstand the force of panicked hogs crashing against a fence. The only entrance was equipped with a remotely operated gate connected directly to the live camera system. The operators understood that closing the gate too early would leave a few hogs outside, allowing them to learn how to avoid the trap, and making future control efforts far more difficult. To make the hogs feel completely safe, fermented corn was spread throughout the trap for several consecutive days. During the first few nights, only a handful of animals entered the feed before leaving again. But after repeatedly finding food without encountering danger, the entire sounder began visiting more often. And staying longer inside the enclosure. The cameras captured groups of hogs casually walking through the gate without showing the slightest sign of caution. Then, one night, the long-awaited moment finally arrived. As the last hog stepped through the entrance and the entire group gathered around the bait, the operator activated the system. The steel gate slammed shut, sealing off the only escape route. Startled, the hogs charged in every direction, repeatedly crashing into fencing in a desperate attempt to break free, but the reinforced steel structure held firm. After several exhausting minutes of struggling, the entire sounder was fully contained inside the trap. At sunrise, the control team returned to inspect the results. More than 35 wild hogs have been captured in a single operation with a combined weight of several thousand pounds. It was considered one of the most successful trapping efforts the farm had seen in years. Removing nearly the entire sounder greatly reduced the threat to surrounding fields and gave local farmers a chance to protect future harvests. In just one successful trap activation, months of effort to defend the farmland had finally paid off, allowing the farmers to regain control of their property. The captured animals were then removed under established wildlife management procedures to prevent them from returning to the area. Even so, experts warn that the battle against wild hogs is far from over because of their rapid reproduction and extraordinary adaptability. That is why large-scale trapping systems combined with continuous camera monitoring are becoming one of the most effective tools for protecting farmland from ever-growing populations of wild hogs. After successfully testing small box traps at Liam's farm, we quickly realized an undeniable reality. The wild boar density in this area was far higher than initially expected.
Ich habe keinen Strich gesehen.
The small traps were effective for catching one animal at a time, but when facing an entire herd, they were almost powerless. The limitation in how many animals each trap could handle forced us to think of a new, more powerful and comprehensive strategy. This time, we decided to upgrade the entire trapping system. Instead of individual small boxes, a series of large corral traps were built, designed to hold multiple wild boars at once. The idea was to minimize time and effort while increasing herd control efficiency. However, this raised a difficult question. Would the larger size of the traps make wild boars more cautious, or would their crowding make them careless and easier to lure in? Only real-world results could answer that. On the first night of deployment, the traps set far from Liam's farm were the first to trigger alerts. When we reviewed the camera footage, we could hardly believe our eyes. A scene we had never witnessed before. An entire herd packed tightly inside the enclosure, moving chaotically in every direction. It was completely different from what we had seen with the small box traps. The density and chaos were overwhelming, yet also revealed the incredible strength and energy of the Boars.
Get in there. Yep. Yep. Hey. Don't set a tree, hurry.
Without hesitation, the team immediately moved to the remote trap locations, preparing for a challenging night. When we arrived, the situation became clear. With such large numbers, every action had to be fast and precise.
Go.
We split into groups and began securing the Boars, section by section, inside the enclosure. Smooth coordination and decisive action allowed us to capture the entire herd, far exceeding initial expectations. 2 large traps near Liam's farm were triggered in just one night, clearly proving the effectiveness of the new strategy. Continuous alerts from the cameras meant no one could rest. The sound of Boar's constant movement and chaotic noise echoed throughout the area. The entire team had to mobilize maximum effort, taking turns handling each trap and controlling each animal to ensure none were missed. It was an almost sleepless night, but every minute was worth it. Each boar removed from the enclosure meant one less threat to the entire farm. The work continued for hours, restraining and moving large numbers of wild boars from both traps, but the results made all the effort worthwhile. The final traps had been set within the farm area the day before, and now, as we returned, a series of alarm signals from traps near Liam's house kept going off. Unexpected, but perfectly timed. Being closer to the farm made access to the Boars much easier than the distant traps. The team quickly gained control of the situation, removing all wild boars from each trap, eliminating the need for long and exhausting trips. The final task was simply to deal with the remaining targets, ensuring the entire operation was completed smoothly and efficiently. When the last traps were cleared, Liam's farm gradually returned to a peaceful state after days of tension. From the small box traps we started with the current corral trap system, everything proved a simple but important truth. The right strategy can make a huge difference. The number of wild boars controlled in this operation far exceeded all previous results, significantly reducing the threat to livestock and the entire farm. However, As we looked into the distance, new tracks were still visible on the ground, reminding us that the battle was not over. Wild boars could return at any time, but now, with upgraded experience and strategy, we were ready to face them and ensure the farm remained protected.
Florida is home to one of the largest wild hog populations in the United States, with an estimated more than 500,000 feral hogs spread across all 67 counties. Experts believe the actual number could be even higher as the population continues to expand. Every year, these animals cause millions of dollars in damage to farms, grazing land, and natural ecosystems by rooting up fields, destroying crops, tearing down fences, and damaging irrigation systems. With their rapid breeding rate, remarkable adaptability, and tendency to travel in groups, wild hog numbers continue to rise, making control efforts increasingly difficult. To address this growing problem, landowners and wildlife management agencies have implemented large-scale trapping programs. Rather than relying solely on hunting individual animals, they focus on advanced trapping systems designed to remove entire sounders in a single operation. This approach is considered one of the most effective ways to slow population growth and reduce the long-term damage caused to agriculture. One of the most commonly used tools is the steel box trap. Although relatively compact, it is highly effective for capturing small groups of hogs or individual animals that frequently roam near farms and residential areas. These traps are typically placed along well-used game trails, near water sources, or in feeding areas.
Info that some hogs have been running through here, some people bring up.
For several days, operators bait the site with fermented corn or other strong-smelling attractants, allowing the hogs to become comfortable entering the trap. Only after the animals have completely lowered their guard is the trap door activated. Built from heavy-duty steel with a secure locking system, the trap is strong enough to prevent even large adult hogs from breaking free once captured.
Want to smell it? Come on.
when dealing with large sounders containing dozens of hogs. Bigger corral traps and large-scale net trapping systems are far more effective. These methods are widely used on farms throughout Florida. Modern trap systems are equipped with infrared cameras, motion sensors, and live video feeds that connect directly to a smartphone or tablet, allowing landowners to monitor hog activity in real time without being physically present and alerting the animals.
I'm gonna restart it. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see how it does later. We'll take this back out to the creek property.
The key to this method is patience. Operators do not trigger the trap as soon as a few hogs enter. Instead, they wait until nearly the entire sounder has gathered inside the enclosure before activating the gate remotely. Waiting for the right moment greatly increases capture success while minimizing the number of animals that escape. This strategy is based on the behavior of wild hogs themselves. They are highly intelligent animals with an exceptional ability to learn from experience. If only a few are captured while others escape, the survivors quickly recognize the danger and avoid that location for a long time. That is why wildlife managers wait for the perfect moment to capture the entire sounder in a single trigger, maximizing the effectiveness of every trapping operation.
Because the Hog-Eye app. With Josh tomorrow after we get back, they'll
Thanks to the combined use of steel box traps, smart corral traps, and advanced monitoring technology, thousands of wild hogs are removed across Florida every year. Even so, the results have not been enough to reverse the overall trend. Their rapid reproduction, wide-ranging movements, and incredible adaptability allow new sounders to quickly move into areas that have already been cleared. This shows that wild hogs are no longer just an agricultural nuisance. They have become one of the state's most significant wildlife management challenges. And as this battle continues with no clear end in sight, one question remains. Can humans truly bring the wild hog population under control, or are we simply trying to limit the consequences of a problem that has been growing for decades?
Long time ago.
you're gonna cook.
Dang.
Imagine stepping outside one morning and barely recognizing your own farm. Carefully tended crop rows have been torn apart, fences have been smashed down, and the ground is covered with tracks and muddy trenches stretching across the field. In a single night, months of hard work have practically vanished. The culprit isn't a storm or broken machinery, but feral hogs spreading across rural America. With their incredible destructive power, rapid reproduction, and remarkable survival instincts, they have become one of the biggest threats facing Texas farmers. What makes feral hogs so dangerous isn't just their strength. They're highly intelligent, quick learners, and often change their travel routes when they sense danger. Common methods like chasing them away, hunting individual animals, or putting up temporary fencing usually work only for a short time. When a sounder is disturbed, it can split into smaller groups and return at a different time. That's why many Texas farmers have realized they can't rely on luck alone. They need a strategy that's patient, precise, and capable of capturing an entire group at once. As a result, large-scale corral trapping systems have become increasingly common. Before setting a trap, farmers carefully study signs on the ground, uprooted soil, trails along fence lines, muddy areas near ponds, and places where hogs regularly return after dark. Once a consistent travel route is identified, they build a large circular steel trap strong enough for an entire sounder to enter without feeling threatened. Corn, ripe fruit, and fermented feed are spread inside to attract the animals night after night. For the first few days, the gate is left completely open. The hogs come and go freely, feeding without encountering any danger. Night after night, they grow more comfortable. The younger hogs enter first, followed by the larger adults, until eventually the entire group is walking inside. When the right moment arrives, the farmer simply watches through an infrared camera on a smartphone. As soon as the last hog steps fully into the trap, one tap on the screen is all it takes. The steel gate slams shut, locking the entire group inside. That moment is usually fast but incredibly intense. The trapped hogs panic, charging into the steel panels and creating loud crashes that echo through the night. Some try digging underneath the fence, while others circle frantically searching for an escape route. But the trap is designed to withstand powerful impacts. After several minutes of chaos, things begin to settle down. With one well-timed activation, a farmer can capture dozens of feral hogs at once, dramatically reducing the damage they can cause in the nights ahead. However, the battle is far from over. Feral hogs reproduce at an astonishing rate, adapt quickly, and can survive in a wide range of environments. If even a few animals escape control efforts, new groups can form again in a relatively short time. Meanwhile, the debate continues. Some argue that large-scale control programs should be expanded. Others raise concerns about costs, management practices, and environmental impacts. But for farmers watching their land being destroyed night after night, there is little time left to wait for distant decisions. Across the vast landscapes of Texas, ranchers and farmers continue their work quietly and relentlessly. They check cameras, track fresh footprints, repair damaged fences, and prepare new traps before darkness falls. For them, this isn't just about protecting crops. It's about protecting their livelihood, their families, and land that has been cared for generations. Feral hogs have proven themselves to be powerful, intelligent, and extremely difficult to control. But people are learning to fight back with technology, experience, and persistence. And in Texas, that battle is certain to continue for many years to come.
Folks, that there's an attitude about pigs that they're disgusting, they're just dirty creatures, and they kind of just want them dead. And I've talked to people that go helicopter hunting, and I go, well, what do you do with all the pigs? And they're like, you leave them there. And I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm like, that doesn't seem...
In the United States, wild boars are among the most dangerous invasive species. They are intelligent, highly adaptable, and reproduce rapidly. Domestic pigs brought by Spanish explorers in the 16th century escaped into the wild and evolved into feral populations, spreading across the southern states, destroying crops, tearing up soil, and severely disrupting ecosystems. Over centuries, they have become a powerful wild animal, now appearing even near residential areas, posing both economic and environmental threats. In the early 20th century, European wild boars were imported into the United States for hunting purposes. After escaping captivity, they interbred with feral domestic pigs, creating an extremely dangerous hybrid. Faster, more aggressive, more resilient, and more destructive than their ancestors. Their reproductive capacity is alarming. A single sow can produce 2 litters per year, with up to 12 piglets per litter, allowing the population to double within months if left uncontrolled. This makes traditional control methods largely ineffective, as new populations are constantly being created before humans can respond. USDA estimates that there are currently around 6.9 million wild boars in the United States, with Texas alone accounting for about 2.6 million, spread across 253 out of 254 counties. They can run at 30 miles per hour, jump 40-inch fences, and have tusks over 6 inches long with skin thicker than 1 inch, making light weapons ineffective. The damage is very real, from military airfields forcing pilots to abort takeoffs, to golf courses, residential areas, and underground fiber optic cables worth millions being destroyed. One farmer lost 24 acres of corn in a single night, around $40,000. Texas alone suffers over $500 million in annual losses, and nationwide damage reaches around $3 billion, not including livestock, bird eggs, and widespread ecological disruption. Traditional efforts such as trapping, hunting, or simply pushing pigs into neighboring counties have largely failed. When they return, they are smarter, more cautious, and better at avoiding any signs of previous control. Each reproductive cycle increases the population further, and every removed group is quickly replaced by new herds migrating from nearby regions. Helicopter culling and ground teams only provide temporary relief, while the population continues to expand. Farmers have begun adopting a different strategy. Intelligent corral traps combined with fermented corn to encourage the boars to enter confidently. Once the animals feed, relax, and return repeatedly over several nights, the trap is triggered when the entire group is inside. No individuals survive, preventing the herd from learning how to avoid it in the future. This technique exploits their behavior and intelligence, taking advantage of how they observe their environment and pass learned behavior to the next generation. Today, farming communities in Texas combine resources, using smart trapping systems and helicopter surveillance, while also protecting allied wolf populations, natural predators in the ecosystem. These wolves target piglets, directly reducing the population's future growth. In Atascosa County, this strategy has reduced corn damage from 600 acres per year to nearly zero,
All right, guys, we
proving
gotta
the
go get
effectiveness of combining ecological balance with technology. Traditional methods only provide temporary impact, catch a few individuals, and the remaining herd teaches the young to avoid traps. The population disperses and establishes new groups in previously cleared areas. Helicopter-based removal only shifts the problem elsewhere. In contrast, the allied wolves affect the next generation directly, targeting the reproductive stage where future populations are determined, enabling more natural and effective control than any human-led campaign. Camera systems and research data show that these wolves learn to hunt piglets in coordinated groups, using precise timing and teamwork to exploit moments when mother sows are exhausted from night foraging. This behavior is learned and passed down through generations, creating a natural pressure that human programs have not been able to replicate. Data from Texas and Georgia shows significant population declines in areas with continuous wolf activity, without the need for extensive trapping or artificial hunting. The story of wild boars in Texas demonstrates that nature has powerful self-regulating mechanisms, which humans sometimes unintentionally disrupt. If you found this content useful, please leave a comment with your thoughts and share it with others interested in agriculture and wildlife.
As the sun set over fields nearing harvest, Farmer David quietly looked across the results of 3 months of hard work. This crop was his best chance to pay off debts and keep the family farm alive. But hidden in the brush surrounding the fields, a growing threat was waiting. In just a few nights, an entire season of effort could be wiped away. David's greatest concern was not the weather, but a massive sounder of wild hogs that kept returning to the farm. One night, 19 hogs suddenly rushed in, tore up the grass, and devastated the cornfield. They rooted through the soil and constantly tested the fences for weak spots. With every visit, the sounder became bolder and the damage grew worse. Unable to wait any longer, David and a team of hunters installed a large drop-gate trap. Corn was scattered inside to lure the hogs. However, they did not trigger it immediately. Acting too soon would only scare the remaining animals away. Instead, they left the gate open for several days, allowing the entire sounder to become comfortable entering and leaving freely for food. The strategy demanded absolute patience. Every night, cameras recorded the hogs approaching with great caution. The lead animals always stopped at the entrance to observe before guiding the rest inside. On some nights, they waited outside for a long time before walking away. Meanwhile, David was running out of time. Deer season was approaching, and a single loud disturbance could send the entire sounder somewhere else, wasting weeks of preparation. To improve his chances, David upgraded the system with infrared cameras and remote control through his phone. This allowed him to monitor every movement without being at the site. After many days of waiting, the decisive moment finally arrived. On the screen, the hogs entered the trap one by one to feed. David remained patient until the last animal had fully crossed the gate before making his move. The instant the entire sounder was inside, the heavy steel gate slammed shut, sealing the only exit. The loud impact echoed across the field, signaling that the trap had done its job. The hogs panicked, charging in every direction for an escape, but every route was blocked. After weeks of preparation, the entire sounder was captured in only a few seconds. The first success was quickly followed by another trap on a nearby property. This second trap captured 15 more wild hogs, including a dominant boar weighing over 100 kilograms. Trapped in the confined space, it repeatedly slammed into the steel panels with all its strength. Each impact shook the entire structure, yet the steel frame held firm. Around it, the rest of the sounder pushed and collided, creating a scene of complete chaos. Capturing the hogs was only the beginning. Removing them safely proved even more difficult. David's team prepared a livestock trailer and scattered corn to form a path from the trap to the vehicle. Using the hog's natural instinct to search for food, each animal followed the trail one after another. Without creating additional pressure or panic, the entire sounder was loaded in a controlled manner and transported to a processing facility according to proper procedures. In reality, the success came not only from modern equipment, but also from the patience to study the sounder's behavior and choose the perfect moment to act. A single rushed decision could have driven the entire group deep into the woods, forcing everything to start over. The combination of field experience and surveillance technology turned what seemed like an impossible challenge into a successful operation. If you enjoyed this story about protecting a family farm, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories about the ongoing struggle between people and wildlife.